Welcome back to Cricket Pulse by LGW. It is Thursday night, April 23rd, and the Wankhede has just witnessed a total demolition, single-handedly by one person. I'm Will. I'm currently trying to process how a team scores 207 and the other side doesn't even cross the halfway mark. At one point, I thought they wouldn't even go past Sanju's personal score. George?
Yes, Will. It was a clinical show, absolute surgery. Um, and sorry to mention, Loy is out tonight, taking some time, some family time off. Um, Sending him our best. He picked up a bad night to miss because, in Will's own words, it's an El Clasico, and it turned out to be a rather boring half game and a very interesting another half of the game. Well, IPL just turned into one-sided masterclass today, and for a change, men in yellow were the ones in the driving seat.
Masterclass, George, is just an understatement. Let's put it that way. CSK, they just walked into Mumbai's backyard and took the keys to the whole house. Let's get into the review.
Right, let's look at the scoreboard first. Chennai posted 207 for 6. More than half, or almost half of it, came from one single person. The black pearl of the Arabian Sea, Sanju Samson. What a game. When that guy gets going, it's just an absolute pleasure to watch. Uh, I mean, they were bundled out for 104, and like Will said, just about the team Mumbai, ended up scoring just about what Sanju scored alone. 103 run victory for Chennai is crazy. This
I
is
mean,
go on.
Yeah, I mean, it just speaks how good that innings of Sanju's was when you look at every other single batsman from both the sides. Let's not just go with Mumbai. Nobody turned up to the show. It was just, as you rightly said, it was a masterclass by one single individual, making an absolute bold statement to the entire crowd. And everyone, the opposite team members as well, turned up and congratulated him.
That was a good sight to see.
Yeah, it was a beautiful sight to see, actually.
I mean, I think everybody realized how important an inning that was and how hard an inning that was. For some reason, the pitch wasn't the same, and it was like the tale of two sad captains. Two of them really struggling, really bad leadership, and one of them had to continue the trend, and the other just scraped off. All credit to Sanju Samson, but honestly, he was unstoppable. Ritraj, I think a brief support. I think every other guy who came to bat, it was like a brief temporary support. But I think Sanju held on his own. MI bowlers, I think even Bumrah was relatively quiet. I think he faced for 31. No, 1 for 31.
31, yeah.
But
on the Mumbai side, it was. I just feel that it was an absolute horror show. Actually, Tilak Varma tried to fight it 30-37, and
I think Sky did as well. Suryakumar Yadav, he had a decent 36. I mean, they both tried but couldn't last long.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else reached double figures.
I mean, Suryakumar's 36 was an absolute painful one. That guy got blows after blows in the initial 20 runs he was scoring, right in the rib cage, right in the private section. he was
Yeah.
absolutely struggling. That 36 was a hard, hard grind for him. And I must
Yeah,
tell you,
but
he
you know
must have been
what?
glad to get out.
But to be honest, kudos to him. At least he got a decent score compared to his captain who went for one. That was I don't know what to say about that shot. And then um, the sad part was QDK managed only 7. It was
Yeah.
honestly an absolute night to forget. I mean, one of the nights to forget among others for this season. Uh,
So I saw Rohit sitting in the dugout and he was scratching his chin and his beard and everything. The man felt like he was lost and he was looking at that one of those wonderful Mumbai Indians team that he had built over these years getting decimated and he couldn't do anything about it. And he felt absolutely helpless. It felt
I
like, he had so many strategy, but he just didn't know what to do or how he could just come out and support them. It was a,
to
it
be
was a, it was a
to be
night
honest, I
to forget.
feel for him. I feel for him because he's won 5 IPL trophies for them. And then to see his team go through what they're going through, it still beats me. Why on earth was the captaincy? Why on earth was the captaincy taken away from him? Uh,
Yeah.
it's a mystery. Hardik cannot handle this. He needs to give that up. Ruturaj cannot handle Chennai. He needs to give that up. Either give it to Rohit, give it back to Rohit, or to Suryakumar, who's experienced in that
Or
area of
Tilak Varma.
leadership, or Tilak Varma even.
Yeah.
And as far as Chennai is concerned, hand it over to Sanju Samson as one of the really good leaders in the game. Um, and you will have 2 5-time champions, uh, back in form. Otherwise, both of them are staring at the end of the battle because it's pretty much game over for Mumbai.
Yeah.
And Chennai, 2 more losses and they're done as well.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it kind of looks like right now, Chennai, the only way they can win the matches is when Sanju performs. And when Sanju
mhm.
performs, he actually brings in some positivity. And I actually felt in today's game, I don't know whether you got to see it. I know you were driving and, going to work. But when I saw him, the man actually played 20 overs. He was there from ball 1 to ball 120 for the first innings,
He played for 40 overs.
40
Two,
overs. Yeah. The best part was he finished his innings, took the gloves. He didn't even take a 10-minute break or send in a substitute before he could catch his breath. But the man was straight away back in with his gloves. It's not a very easy thing. You bat and then you come in as a keeper because a keeper has to be actively in the game all the time. So there is no rest for that fellow. And at some point, I actually saw him uh, taking over the leadership, and I could see him placing the fields, getting in and talking to Akeal Hosein and telling him how to bowl. He was giving ideas to Noor Ahmed as well. So I could see he's already in that captainship mode. It's just it's not given to him officially, but he's unofficially he's doing pretty much the entire thing. And I could see Rituraj all the way at the back on the long on, and a captain. I don't know how he can marshal his troops all the way when he's standing at the long on. How is anybody going to be viewing him because he's in one corner? And it felt
look,
like
I don't know what that was, but whatever it was, it worked in Chennai's favor. So I don't think Chennai fans should complain. They could continue doing that, and rightfully so. Sanju, as a senior um, member of the team and as well as one of the highly experienced batsmen and leader as well. He's a former RR captain as well. So I think it's only just right for him to take that role. And chip in what he can in terms of leadership. But that being said, let's move on to the bowling. You mentioned Akeal Hosein. What a show.
Yep.
4 for 17. I think the best bowling figures of the season so far. Completely choked Mumbai Indians. I mean, he. I
Yeah.
don't appreciate the celebration, but he actually had them in his pocket. It was ridiculous. And then Noor Ahmed, 2 for 24. He's got the purple cap. Um,
Yeah.
and Anshul Kamboj, again, very consistent. He bowled only 3 overs, but he took 1 for 10.
Yep.
Economy rate is a ridiculous 3.33 in a 2020 tournament. It's crazy.
Akeal
Um,
Hosein, there's something that was mentioned in during his performance by Ian Bishop. He was
mhm.
saying Akeal Hosein comes from a particular area in I think in West Indies where the
Trini,
crime
yeah.
rates are really really high, and
Mhm.
he comes from that background where people are literally killing each other, going after them, violence and everything, and he's one of those shining light from that community now representing on a global stage. So he's saying if Akhil can do this, he's actually setting a good precedency for his other members of his community to pick up
Mhm.
cricket and get something, meaningful out of their life. And and the way he did it today was absolutely fantastic.
Fantastic.
Right from the first over, he basically took out the top order. They had absolutely no idea, no clue what to hit, where to hit, because when Mumbai was bowling, the ball wasn't turning. But when Chennai came in, the ball was turning. So what was going on over there?
Now
So
the chip, the,
full
the
marks to Akhil Hussain. Well done to him.
I mean, both Akeal and Noor were really clinical. I think it was simply not Mumbai's day, and as much as I feel bad for Rohit, I don't know. I mean, the think tank in Mumbai need to sort out this whole captaincy situation. If not, I mean, they're out. I think they're pretty much out. I don't see a way back. But you never know with cricket. But that being said, uh, we head from the sea city to the Silicon Valley of India tomorrow. Royal
Oh,
Challengers Bengaluru versus Gujarat
GT.
Titans.
Yep.
So
It's
yeah.
going to be a massive, massive, massive game. Purely
Yes.
because both the teams have lost it. We've lost it in the previous game. GT got
Hmm.
absolutely hammered by Mumbai Indians. So again, it is a it is a game. It's going to be where both the teams are going to come really hard because they want to go back into that winning zone. And personally, I feel us RCB have an upper hand purely because we've got this absolute enormous amount of talent in our in our team, and on a given day in our own backyard, we're absolutely going to tear them apart.
Um, I wouldn't, be that confident because it's uh, Gill's favorite hunting ground as well, and they've the last 2 times they've been in Chinnaswamy, they've made us. Um, I mean, they've really made us regret it. So due factor will be important tomorrow because if it slows down second innings and if GT is bowling and if they're chasing, Rashid Khan can really be very, very dangerous. But what I also wanted to talk about was our team selection, and we've been whining about Jacob Betham, right?
Yeah,
And surprisingly, Sir Alistair Cook has made a statement, I think, the day before yesterday.
yeah.
He said Bethel should consider returning to play county cricket
No
with,
way. No
yeah,
way.
with
Yeah,
Warwickshire, because his point is rather than sitting his ass and not doing anything in the
yeah,
IPL,
yeah,
he'd rather return and play county because he's possibly going to be opening for the English Test team,
I
which is
completely disagree with that one. No.
no, which is fair if he's not playing. But what impressed me the most was Bethel's response yesterday. In fact, he responded saying, "Look, things work different with different people. I
Yeah.
may be sitting out, but I'm learning a lot
100%. He's
where
absolutely
I
right.
am."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think who better to learn Test cricket or whatever form of cricket than sticking around and watching Virat Kohli
The
or talking to
greatest.
him,
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
talking to him.
what a, steady head on that shoulder. You have to
Yeah,
appreciate Jacob Bethel. 22-year-old man thinking like someone who is well experienced in cricket, and he's putting his knowledge of learning stuff from the likes of Kohli, the likes of Dhoni. Whenever he gets to meet them, while even though he's not playing, he's going to be watching all of these players. That
and
itself is a
it's
massive experience.
and he's proven he's proven that it's worked for him. But you
Yeah,
know what? Uh, but in saying that, I really want to say game time matters as well. And I really think it's about time. I don't know, whatever trick is up their sleeve, it's about time we see Bethel in Romario Shepherd's place. Because tomorrow, like I
yeah.
said, the due factor is going to be a huge thing. And
His
as
spin
a
can come
sixth
anytime.
bowler,
Yeah.
Bethel's spin, can be really good. And, you know, if he gets going, Bethel, I mean, I would love to see Bethel bat alongside Virat Kohli. It's just going to be amazing to watch.
If he
That
does, let me tell you this: we can expect the same kind of knock that we saw from QDK, because
Mhm,
he never got a chance. When he got the first chance, he came out all guns blazing and scored that brilliant 100. So
mhm.
we can expect from Jacob, purely because he's in that destructive form right now. He's just come out of the World Cup, scoring massive runs against the likes of Bumrah. I've never seen Bumrah getting hit uh,
Yeah,
in the past, but he took on that challenge and he absolutely went after Bumrah. So if he can do that on a given day, he is well capable of doing that if he gets the opportunity. And it's purely,
I
yeah,
think we should get him. I mean, he could be Bangalore's personal marauder. I mean, he will bulldoze through any bowling lineup. But it's important to bring him in place of Romario, because I I don't see any positive at this point in time in IPL and the kind of pitches
yeah,
and the totals that are being put up.
yeah.
Romario's bowling is not what we need.
I
Uh,
think it's best to say that this is the time to try and experiment, make some changes, and see what is working. You never know. You might see a couple of
mhm.
failures because purely he hasn't had any chance yet. So he might actually fail tomorrow or day after, but there are good chances that he might come good. Even if he turns up and scores 35, 40 runs, that's he would score those runs relatively quickly as well. So he won't waste any of the balls. He probably will look at somewhere about 180 strike rate. So he will score quick, as opposed to what we've been getting from Romario Shepherd. So absolutely, I totally agree. Romario should take a little break, let Bethel
Mhm.
come in, fresh pairs of legs, fresh thinking, and he will be everywhere. He's a good fielder as
Yes.
well. So
Yeah, fantastic
absolutely.
fielder.
So yeah, there's more to have from Jacob Bethel when you compare that with
100% couldn't agree more. But that being said, we can't we can't ignore GT. They've just had one blip, but if you look at it, Shubman Gill is in a fantastic form. He had a rare off day last game, but it's not easy to keep him quiet. And then don't forget Kagiso Rabada and Rashid Khan with the ball. And
yeah,
then there's Josh Butler as well. So um,
Siraj. We
if
can't forget
if
Siraj.
yeah, DSP Siraj as well. So
Yeah,
all of them firing, and mind you, Siraj knows Chinnaswamy like the back of his
yeah,
hand,
yeah,
and and that's going to be a force to reckon with as well. So we really need to up our game and be prepared for this. Can't go unprepared. Yeah, but as far as predictions go, I call it RCB. Obviously, I don't think I would call any other team.
Well,
what
I
RCB is
speak
playing.
for Bijoy as well. Sorry, I speak for Loy as well. So
Yeah, it's
I'm pretty sure
RCB.
he's going to be with RCB. I
Yeah.
mean, the house is full of RCBs.
There's no way we're going to choose any other team. But
anyone else?
analytically looking as well, I think we have the upper hand, and I think I really hope they play Bethel and the boy comes good. It'll be amazing.
Brilliant.
It'll be good for England as well. So yeah. On that note, I think we can call it a day. Very boring game. Absolutely fantastic batting display by Sanju.
Sanju, yeah.
He entertained us, and after that, I don't know, he just went lol. But so, okay, so anyhow, it was a boring half and a very interesting half. I hope tomorrow is going to be fireworks, but I wouldn't regret if GT's half is boring. But RCB needs the win. Anyhow, keep the pulse racing. It was lovely. Tune in tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll be here. Just all smiles and saying, "What a show" by Bethel. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate all your comments on all other videos and everything. We are looking into it, and we are responding to as many as we can as quickly as we can. Keep those comments
to be
coming
honest, there's not much. Whoever's commenting, we're grateful, and I would actually, ask people if you could share, comment, and like our videos. It'll help us, and it'll help us make more content customized to your liking. If you can comment and let us know what you like and what you don't. It's completely democratic here. So in saying that, I think it's time to call it a night. Adios.
Thank you. See you in the next one.